This is the plaintiff, Felicia Kasdan. She says the defendant's vicious dog attacked her poor little 11-pound cocker spaniel in her local dog park, and the woman's being a real louse because she won't pay the vet bills. That's right. The defendant's dog was 100% at fault, admitted to such on the scene, and yet she's still owed $754.95. This is the defendant, Tammy. She says the plaintiff's little dog was in the big dog section of the park instead of the little dog section. The plaintiff's little dog was also snapping at her big dog, and dogs being dogs, they got into it. After the incident, the plaintiff apologized to her and left. Now she turns around and sues? Come on. She's accused of having a bad dog day afternoon. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $400 for a doctor's bill because she herself was bitten in the melee.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant's dog attacked her cocker spaniel in a dog park, but the defendant says the little dog was in the big dog section and it was a snapper. It's the case of, you hurt my cocker spaniel bad.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, I have an instruction here that you don't want your last name mentioned, but I'm sorry, you don't want your dog's name mentioned?
No.
That is a first. So what is the purpose of... Okay, no problem. Ms. Kasdan, you are suing Tammy, who I do not get, who doesn't want her last name used or her dog's name used, for $754.95 that you say is still outstanding on the cost of vet bills that you had to incur when, according to you, her dog attacked your dog. You have a counterclaim against her for $400 for a doctor's bill for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Because during
Your Honor.
during the struggle, that's okay. During the struggle, I've been called a lot worse than ma'am. During the struggle, you were bit. All right, tell me what happened.
On May 26th, I brought my dog to Ward Acres Dog Park. I bring him about 2 to 3 times a week. On this particular day, my dog was leashed upon exiting the dog park when her dog ran up.
So your dog was on a leash when this happened?
Yes, I was leaving the park.
Right.
Her dog ran up, bit him on the neck.
Did this happen inside the park?
Yes.
Okay.
It lasted about 4 minutes.
How did the dog, when you say her dog came, her dog was in the dog park running?
Running,
Which
yes.
is what you're meant to do in a dog.
Yeah.
All right, and then did you see her dog come up?
Yeah,
Was it sudden or were they sniffing each other?
sudden.
And the dog came up and did what?
Bit my dog on the neck. And
Did you see the dog, her dog looking at your dog and
No.
scoping your dog out?
it was kind of, we were leaving, I was about 5 feet away from the door and the dog came out of nowhere. Jumped on top of my dog, looked up, and when he looked up, he had my dog in his mouth.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Cocker Spaniel mix. He's about
How many
11 pounds.
How many?
11.
And what kind of dog do you have?
A pit bull.
A pit bull. Okay. How many pounds?
73.
Okay. So go ahead.
So about 6 people were helping. People were smacking the dog. People were screaming at the dog to make it release. Finally, somebody put it in a chokehold, and the dog released its grip.
Who put it in a chokehold?
A woman at the park.
Wow, I want to know. I want to be the friend of the woman who puts a pit bull in a chokehold. That is my kind of woman.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It did not work.
The chokehold didn't work.
No.
What did work?
Me actually picking the dog up like a pup from behind his neck to calm him down so that his jaws could unlock.
73 pounds worth. You picked it up with
Yeah.
your back hurt later.
No.
Why didn't you do it sooner? That was such a good idea. Who are you to her?
Her sister.
Okay. So what happens?
After the dog was released, we exchanged numbers. She was apologetic. I rushed my dog to the emergency vet where he was rushed into emergency surgery. He had stitches and a drain.
So the vet bill was $854.95?
Yes.
All right. And so you start to communicate with her?
Yes.
By text?
Via text, yes.
Now, let's get back to you in a second. What do you folks say happened? Let me start with you.
Okay, I was in the park with my dog, and he was playing with some other dogs. And she entered from the right entrance with her dog,
in her arms.
In her arms,
And leash.
right. And then after that, she put him down, and he was running, you know, along with
took
the
the
other
dog off the
dogs.
leash.
He wasn't
Wait,
on a
I
leash.
can't hear both of you at the same time.
He
I
was
need to
not
hear
on a
one
leash.
first and then the other one. Go ahead.
And then he ran over to my dog and started biting him on his belly.
Biting him on his belly.
Biting my dog on his belly.
Ooh, that's one brave Cocker Spaniel. And
Right.
then what?
So then my dog turned around and he nipped him. Well, he bit him.
Well, nipped him. That
Well,
dog-
bit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wouldn't
And
let
after
go,
that, then
as pit bulls do.
Right.
Wouldn't let go.
Right.
Right.
And then we all were just, you know, trying to get my dog to, you know, let her
How
dog
long did
go.
it take? I know it seems like an eternity, but do you...
Maybe like around, I don't know, 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
That is an eternity in this situation.
It did feel like it, but I really don't know exactly
Yeah.
how long, but it did feel like
What
a
do you
few
say
minutes.
happened, sister?
There you go.
I saw something little and brown underneath her dog, and then I looked really hard, and the dog bit her dog here, like right in the center, up above his chest, right here, underneath his neck. And the next thing I know, he's fighting the dog. He grabbed the dog. There were like 3 other people that were in the park with their dogs. Everyone all of a sudden is jumping. She starts screaming. She was on her phone before all this happened because she didn't even know what was going on. And so she was on her phone. Then she starts screaming. My sister was trying to get her dog out of her dog's mouth and got bit in the process. I was yelling at everyone, asking them to please step away from both of the animals so that I could get her dog out of the dog's mouth. So I grabbed him from the back of his neck and started to call his name, and then I pulled him up. And once I pulled him up and he was able to relax his jaw.
If you're so skilled at this, why didn't you do that 4 minutes ago? Why did
I
it take
couldn't
4
because all those other people jumped on him. The lady had him in a headlock. She was like, it was crazy. She had him like down. She was on the ground like this with him like this. You know, I'm like, I don't want to fight her. I'm just saying, please, could you just get off the dog? It was crazy. You know,
By
my
the way, the
sister
dog's
was really
okay now,
upset.
right?
Yes.
All right.
The dog was
So
fine.
you
Like,
sent an email, a text to her, and she's horrified. But you do send her $100 and you tell her that you're going to pay. Why the change of heart?
So when 2 dogs are playing in a park and one dog bites the other, is it just tough luck?
Well, I think you should know the actions of your dogs. Like, you should know your kid.
Yeah, but dogs are unpredictable. I mean, if 2 dogs are playing and one dog bites, is the dog owner of the dog that bit responsible for vet bills?
No, it's tough luck. That's it.
Tough luck.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the tiebreaker?
I think they're responsible.
Why?
Because if you were driving a car and you hit another car, you'd be responsible.
Only if you're negligent. Ha! Going inside the courtroom.
Your Honor, I never said that I would help her with the whole bill. I said I would do what I can to help
You said you would. You're right about that.
I never
you
said that.
I will help with the expenses. That's
right.
what you
I
said.
never said I would
In
help you with the
increments.
whole. Right.
Right. First,
right.
The first thing you said was, "I feel terrible. I'll help with the expenses." And then when she
No, I
tells you,
did
and
not.
then she tells you it's $854. How do you want to pay this? And then you say, "I need to do it in installments." Okay. You don't
Your
say,
Honor, I
"I'm not
never-
going to pay that." But it doesn't matter because I'm still going to rule what the law is. I'm just fascinated by human nature. What is it
Understand.
that made you change your mind?
It's not that I changed my mind because I never told her I would help her
Well,
with
then
the whole bill.
you haven't
I
sent
never
another
said
installment.
that.
Have you sent any installments?
She started sending me harassing texts, so I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not sending you anything.
Okay. What were the harassing texts that she sent you?
Calling my phone. Well, basically saying that. I said, Felicia, did you get the money or whatever? She's like, yeah, I got the money, and just like, and so what? When are you going to make the next payment? And then she's calling my phone, hanging up.
I have the text.
She's calling my
printed.
phone, hanging up like a kid. I say hello, and she's hanging up my phone. Then I text her. I said, Felicia, did you call me? She's like, no, I must have been walking in a bad spot in the
I said
city.
I
didn't
walked through
call
a
you.
dead zone, Your Honor. The call dropped.
You say that you're going to pay in installments. A month passes, 1 installment comes. Then on July 2nd, hello, she says to you, hope all is well. Do you have any idea when you can get this paid off by? She does that at 12, and then she does it again at 2 because there wasn't any answer. And then you say, hi, did you call me and not say anything? That was a little weird.
Right.
Anyway, I was away and did not have phone service. I did see your messages when I came back. Did you get the money I sent you? And then what do you say she says?
Something, I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You know what? I
You
cracked,
just
I cracked my
Hold on.
phone.
Here's
so
what
I
the
really
woman
don't
said.
remember the text messages.
I love text.
Wait.
You know? Because here's what she says. I was walking, and I think I walked into a dead zone because
She
I
did
could
say
hear
that.
you speaking, and then the call dropped. I did get the money order, yes. That's not, where am I going to get the rest of my money? It's,
didn't
when
get
do you
to
think
that
the rest of
point
the
yet.
money's coming? But you can read it with whatever intonation you
Exactly.
want. Okay,
Exactly.
so stop. Everybody stop. But what did you guys do wrong? You're both at a dog park and your dogs are loose. What did the dogs do wrong? What do you think? That you got to paint out self-defense for your pit bull to not be at blame? You think that whoever, bites the first bite is the one who the owner has to pay? That's not how this works. They're animals, folks. They're animals, and animals have to be animals. It's the human behavior that a court of law looks at to determine if someone has to pay somebody else's vet bills. So if two dogs are in a dog run, it's an assumption of the risk on everybody's part that animals will be animals.
Yes.
Okay?
The rules of the park, though, are that you are responsible for whatever injuries your dog causes.
No, the rules of the park are that the park is not responsible and that you all have to watch your dog. The park cannot decide that it's going to go against well-established law in your state, because established law is that you're both assuming the risk when you go in there. You got a counterclaim for $400 for the exact same reasons, 0 on your counterclaim. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
All right, both sides, hold on right there, please.
Well, dogs will be dogs, and so step on out here and you assume the risk and you have to assume the responsibility.
I understand that. I just think that because there's a sign that says owners are legally responsible for their dog's actions, I thought that this would go differently. I'm just happy my dog's okay.
Yeah, well, that's
to
the
be
main
honest.
thing. But you understand that the park can't post a sign that supersedes the real law?
I understand that,
Understand that? Okay. All right, head right down this way. It's a good thing the dog's all right.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are you?
You too? You glad the dogs are okay?
Yes, I am glad the dogs are okay. A dog will be a dog. You don't know what's in a dog's mind, so things happen.
These dog
It's an
runs.
unfortunate accident.
Yeah.
You know?
These dog runs are a little scary.
I learned my
Anything can
lesson.
happen out there.
Anything can happen. It was great because all the 3 of the dogs, the larger dogs, were all interacting nicely.
Until they don't.
Until
You still go there?
Came in and
Until
started
Toto
nipping
came.
You still go there?
my boy. No, I learned my lesson. I'm not going back to dog parks. That's
Harvey?
it.
It's funny. It's exactly what you just said, that when a dog bites another dog, you have to prove that the owner of the dog that bit was negligent, and that is not always the case.